Evening, everybody. Once again, it's the truck talk. um, this is going to be another long video because there's just so much stuff that's gone on this week that I'm not even going to be able to cover it all. But I'm going to try to cover some of it. Um, Man, did I really, really nail that short squeeze? I knew that short squeeze was coming, and I warned a lot of people if they were going to short the markets with me that you better be careful because I was showing a lot of shorts there, and I knew that the markets were going to be manipulated upwards and those shorts were going to be squeezed. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And man, the markets have rallied now to a point way before when I was shorting. The valuations of the Dow were close to record highs, and I think we're getting right back up to that area again. So again, I've been implementing my short strategy now that everybody's been squeezed out of the market. Excuse me. And I've been adding to my shorts slowly, and I don't think that the crash is going to be coming anytime soon because of what the Federal Reserve basically announced at their FOMC meeting this week. They basically said that a lot of markets are overvalued, the valuations are high, and they're kind of dangerous. And the Fed also said they're going to start whittling down on their balance sheet. So all of those worthless, fake real estate derivative assets that they put on their balance sheet, they're going to try to unwind that balance sheet. They're going to try to get it off of their balance sheet now. They had to buy it in order to prop up the markets because nobody wanted to buy it. And now that everybody's back into real estate again, and those real estate derivatives actually have some value, they're going to start dumping them back into the marketplace. And what better way to do that than to not raise interest rates, let a little bit of inflation come in there, allow people to borrow a little bit more and to buy more into the real estate market, and have the dollar weaken, so people need to get rid of their cash, so they'll start plowing it into real estate. And then also, if we look back at what Brian Moynihan, the CEO of Bank of America, said, that they could lower their 20% down payment requirement to get a loan down to 10%, then you'd be able to borrow again. So I don't feel that the Fed is going to raise interest rates. They're probably going to hold steady in June, and then they're probably going to raise in September and let it all come crashing down when people get suckered into the marketplace. And after the Fed has already unloaded all of their assets into the marketplace, they can basically crash the market and make those assets worthless. So I am slowly, again, adding to my short positions on the stock market because I believe that market's going to crash. They are pinning the markets on Trump when anything is good that's going on and the markets rally. It's a Trump rally. And whenever there's a disaster, they claim it's incompetence of Trump. And so the markets crash because of him. So even though all of us educated people really know that the banks are controlling the markets, we are not in a free market economy. We are in a command economy. We're basically in a communist economy. And Americans have fallen asleep in their education and their understanding of what a free market is. And they've allowed people to confuse them into thinking we're in a crony capitalist economy. We are not in a crony capitalist economy because crony capitalism is basically fascism or communism, when the government is in bed with the businesses and letting the businesses get away with murder. And that's what we're seeing. And simultaneously, what they're doing is these false flag attacks, like you saw with the Ariana Grande concert. Isn't it wonderful that you're in the United Kingdom, which is the number one surveillance capital of the world? They have more cameras in the United Kingdom than anywhere else. And yet, when you had this bomb go off, there's not single footage of the actual bomb. I find that kind of weird. I always find things weird because I look at things honestly. I don't buy bullshit like most people do. Most people will go listen to CNN, ABC, NBC, and they'll listen to their story, what they're trying to sell you, and they'll buy it. And I'll talk to those people, and they'll spit it out to me. Oh, Trump is colluding with Russia. You know, How long have they been saying that Trump's been colluding with Russia and nothing? They found nothing. You know what the Democrats are actually doing? They saw how Hillary Clinton got screwed by her investigations when she was actually doing evil things, and the FBI and the Attorney General were protecting her, and they saw how it cost her the election. So they're constantly going to accuse Trump of evil things, even though they don't have any proof. And now that we actually have a legitimate Department of Justice and FBI, nothing's going to come of it. But they're trying to get into the psyche of the stupid people who vote, who constantly hear this collusion, that Trump is a traitor. And so the next time that they vote, there won't be a second term for Trump. That's what the Democrats are hoping. And that's what the liberal media is hoping as well. But really what they're doing is they're making themselves look so stupid, because all the smart people are looking at them going, where's your evidence? You know, even when you have somebody who voted for Hillary Clinton, like attorney Alan Dershowitz, he's an attorney, a Democrat, and he voted for Hillary Clinton, and he's defending Donald Trump. Holy mackerel! When you've got a constitutional attorney, lawyer, scholar, telling you that you need to state the statute on which you intend to impeach Trump, because you dumb Democrats don't have a single bit of evidence or proof that he's been colluding, it's all over for you guys. So they're also doing a lot of these false flag attacks because they're trying to clamp down on society, because they know their time is up. Seth Richards, the DNC staffer, there's more evidence coming out to show he was murdered. It wasn't just a botched robbery. It was like an assassination. The Democrats were very heavily involved in his investigation and his health care. You know, when he was shot, he could have survived. And supposedly law enforcement came in and denied him health care so that he died. I thought the Democrats were all about health care. Unless you're against them, then they'll cut off the doctor to you. You guys really, if you support Democrats, you really need to think about what you're doing. These guys are communists in disguise, and they are authoritarians. If you study communism, you see how many people they murder in order to get what they want. And so you're seeing this concert where this bomb supposedly goes off, and a week before that in the UK, they're doing a drill based on that very scenario. And then the bomb goes off. This is a false flag, beautiful false flag. And why is it that there was no security? You look at that, all the people that were interviewed, they're like, there was no security. Basically, they're just looking in bags. They're just looking in bags, and they just touch the side of the bag. There was no patting down, no metal detectors. You know, really, if you're with ISIS, think about it. If you want notoriety, is it sufficient to just kill 22 people, and injure 50? Why wouldn't you take out Ariana Grande also? Think about it. That's a notorious kill right there. If you killed Ariana Grande as a terrorist, you'd be all over the news for months, because she's a big-time star. She didn't get killed because she's in on it. I mean, you look at her. She's the donut licker. She's the one that goes in the donut shop, looks around and goes, on someone's donut, and you're going to buy it. And then she also comments to her boyfriend, boy toy, I hate Americans. And then we also find out she's like, my fans should be killed. Think about those things. On a side note, we're seeing cryptocurrencies go nuts. They wanted us on a cashless society, and I think they're successfully doing it. We're going to be off cash because they're going to make the dollar worthless. They're going to make all other currencies worthless. And then they got this cryptocurrency system where we're all being forced into it because they have derivatives on the traditional preservation assets like gold and silver. They use the shorting like I'm doing right now in the markets, but they use it on a super large scale to drive down the prices of gold and silver so that they won't rise. And the funny thing about that is I absolutely love silver because I believe silver is super undervalued because of what they're doing. They're driving the price of silver down. So you have to think, if you're the person who produces silver, you want to be able to produce it cheap and sell it at a high price, right? But they're driving the price down. So are you going to produce silver? No way in heck are you going to produce silver. There's no profit in it. You'll just do what's just necessary to kind of keep the lights on. But you're not going to produce more than you actually need because there's no profit motive as there would be in a free market. And so the production of silver is going to be like, there's going to be like none. So this is your supply of silver. Guess what happens? Are you the type of person who uses silver? Maybe you're an electronics company. Guess what? Electronics companies use silver. They use it in the wiring. They use it in the connectors. All these new technologies coming out. Yeah, they use rare earth metals also in these batteries, but they still use silver. So guess what? The demand for silver is super high right now. Why? Do you want to pay when the price is up here? No, you don't. You want to pay when the price is down here. So you'll buy like crazy when there's a sale. So as a customer, you're going to buy the crap out of the supply. And if you only have a little bit of supply because the producer at this price doesn't want to produce. So you only have this much silver and people are drawing it down. And now you're JP Morgan and you're shorting the markets. And the pricing mechanism has to adjust in order for the producers to want to make silver. Guess where the price has to go? It has to go up. So if you're JP Morgan, you got record short positions to control the price of silver because you're also connected with the Federal Reserve, the banking system, and the price gets out of control and starts to go up. Just like in the short squeeze in the Dow that I was saying, when people were shorting it, they're going to drive it up so that you guys have to reverse all your shorts and drive the market up even further. And guess what? We're up higher than when it first dropped. Well, same thing with the silver market, except the silver market has really good fundamentals. I expect silver is like a spring, a coiled spring. They've been suppressing it down. It's like that really well-inflated ball that you take into your swimming pool and you jump on top of it and you're trying to push it to the bottom of the pool. As soon as you lose control of that, which is going to happen eventually, that ball's going to spring out of the water like crazy and shoot up over the surface of the water out into the air because it's so inflated. Well, I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen with silver. Silver is super suppressed, and I believe eventually it's going to go nuts and maybe even close to being as precious as gold, maybe even more, depending upon how long they continue to suppress this price and how the demand in the market strips that supply, so that eventually if you want it for investment purposes or you want it for industrial purposes, silver also has biocide uses. You want it for medical uses. I'm telling you, if it's not there, the price is going to go crazy. So I recommend right now, I go to the coin shops. They got those 1 ounce silver coins. They've got not Kruger. They got the silver maple leaves. They've got the silver walking liberties. Pick up a $27 silver coin. Just one. It's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin was like $200 for a Bitcoin. And now it's going nuts. It's like $2,700. $2,700 for a non-existent currency. It's a cryptocurrency. There's nothing physical there. It's all digital. People are paying $2,700 for that thing. Ethereum is another cryptocurrency. That's going through the roof. I told you guys all this stuff. Litecoin is going through the roof. All these coins, these cryptocurrencies that don't really have a physical capacity to them, they're going through the roof because people are afraid of the traditional assets because the banking system has really screwed everything up. Bill Clinton screwed everything up by repealing Glass-Steagall and allowing the banks to create derivatives on financial assets when they weren't able to do that before because they were separated by Glass-Steagall. So, they're going to blame Donald Trump for what happens, but really it started with Bill Clinton and the Democrats. And the Federal Reserve also supported the economy during Obama's administration because the economy was crap and they kept calling it a recovery. That ain't no recovery. You just keep pumping money into the thing. And money needs to be created by work, by production. Very few people are working. A lot of people are out of work. You're seeing companies going out of business now. this year, and a large rate. So, I mean, where's this production to support the money creation? There is none. So the dollar is going to become worthless. You're also starting to see, that Saudi deal that Trump did? The Saudis aren't buying our treasuries anymore. What's the best way for them to buy from us? They want something of value. Give them military equipment. And so that military deal with the Saudis was their chance to keep the petrodollar going still without it completely dumping. But after that, the world is slowly moving away from the dollar. If you live in the United States, you're a spoiled brat. You've been enjoying it too long and you don't realize the crisis that's coming for us. And I've been warning a lot of people, and people just brush me off. Trust me, I'm going to have absolutely no sympathy for you because you treated me like dirt when I warned you. Out of the kindness of my heart, I warned you that bad stuff is coming. And I know it's not going to be easy for me either. Because I know no matter how much I prepare, I'm not even prepared for what this is because there's so much garbage leverage out in the system, so much manipulation. That's part of the reason why people are going to these cryptocurrencies, because they're trying to escape the control, the command control of the governments and the central banking system. The income tax was illegal. It was illegally passed in the United States, along with the Federal Reserve Act, which created the IRS and the Federal Reserve together. Before that, there was no income tax. You've been conned by leftist communists to believe that you need to pay your fair share of income tax. No, why? You worked hard for that. Why should you be taxed? Why doesn't that money go in your pocket? Think about that. You worked for it. Now, if you make $1 billion and you think, oh, well, I should pay my fair share, by all means, honey, pay your fair share. Don't force everybody else, you little punk. Don't force everybody else if they don't want to. Let it be a free economy. Just like taxation. Let taxation be free. If you want to pay taxes up the yin-yang, you want to be stupid like that, go for it. Unless you can afford it. If you got billions and billions of dollars, and even if you spent $1 million a day for the rest of your life, you would never spend the rest of your money, fine. Pay the rest in tax. Do it. But don't do that to the rest of us. And so that's why lots of people are going into these cryptocurrencies, because no government controls them that we know of. Like I said, the Bible warns of the mark of the beast economy, where eventually they will cut you off from doing transactions if you don't accept the mark of the beast. So it's possible these cryptocurrencies could be that, because they are digital currencies. You don't have a physical piece of paper that they can cut off. You got a digital 1 and 0. And if they decide to switch that binary code off, where your account is worthless, you got no money. You got these ransomware things going on. Those are things to think about. But at the time being, that's going to be the system that we're going to be switching to. And if you're left in the dollar system, when the dollar system collapses, you're going to watch your entire life savings wiped out overnight. Study the history of the peso collapse, the ruble collapse. I mean, throughout history, currencies have collapsed because they're just receipts. They're receipts for real money. They're fiat currency. That's all they are. And when the government decides to print more than the money that's supposed to be supporting it, no, it's done. I got my girlfriend, wife, whatever you want, mom, baby mama, talking smack to me while I'm doing a live video, which is wonderful. Anyway, I'm going to cut it short. This is supposed to be educating people to prepare them for the time that's going on, and she doesn't get it either. That's what I got to deal with at home. Men. When you got to take care of your woman and she doesn't understand, it's tough. It's really tough. I'm telling you. But when it gets hard, there's a great movie, Ip Man. I'm trying to remember which Ip Man movie it is. Ip Man is a movie about the person who trained Bruce Lee. Is Bruce Lee's master. And there's a period of time in one of the movies where they're very wealthy, and the economy in China collapses, and there's a Great Depression there. And the wife was used to spending all this money, and now they're in hard times. And the husband just has to be patient and deal with the wife because she doesn't understand. Men, trust me. I feel you. I feel you on that. So you're not alone. If you feel stressed out and you feel like you're working your butt off and your woman doesn't understand, she will understand, because hard times will make her understand. It's unfortunate that women don't understand these kinds of things. They're too they don't see things the way we do. We're very stressed out all the time, trying to protect our families. Women don't see it that way. They see life as it's a good thing until it's not. And unfortunately, it's going to be not. That's going to make them realize that they should have been helping their husbands all along. And we live in a society where women divorce men over money problems or over simple things, like they want to focus on their career. That economy is ending. I'm telling you here and now. Women, you want to divorce your man in the new coming economy, you will regret it, because you will need someone to defend you in the time when the crime and the looting and the rioting is going nuts. You look at Venezuela. Search Venezuela. See what's going on there right now. The crime and the rioting is tremendous when your economy is collapsing. And the women who divorce their husbands at this time over money, you greedy Kardashian women, you're keeping up with the Kardashians, you're going to find out what's going to happen to you if you do that to your man. You better start learning to respect your man and taking care of him, because he's the one who's going to protect you from the psychos and the psychotic thing that's going to be happening very soon. All right? I'm going to end my video there, because I just lost all train of thought. That's a lecture to my woman too. She needs to understand that it's becoming very, very dangerous. It doesn't seem like it in some areas in America still, but it's coming. You look at, okay, so, before I go, I'm telling you, the governments are cracking down. They want martial law. They want ultimate control over you. You look at this concert attack. What happens? UK puts them out on the street right away. You got soldiers, foot soldiers, and police out on the streets. You got martial law. You go to the Philippines. Duterte down in Mindanao is putting martial law in effect. And what do the people say? Great, we expect it because nobody's cared about us before. So, yeah, let the government control our lives. You know what? They're using this terrorism to institute command and control. Don't fall for it. If you fall for it, that's it. We live in Hitler era. And now it's global. Back in the days, Hitler had to fight and take over countries in order to institute his Third Reich. And it wasn't successful. But now we're in a globalized world where all these idiots think the same. You even see it with Trump at NATO, how they're all pushing this one world crap. We're in a one world government now, and when they all clamp down and put martial law everywhere, there's nowhere to escape. It's all over. So rethink about that command and control stuff. Just because they're a terrorist, don't let them put soldiers on the streets. Don't let them do it. You need to learn to defend yourself. We need to defend our rights, our Second Amendment rights, to be able to defend ourselves. Because guess what? Someone breaks in your house right now, it takes at least 15 minutes for the police to get to your house. They're not going to defend you. They're not going to be able to defend you. They will outline your body in chalk. That's all the police will do. They're not there to defend you. If they just so happen to be outside your house, you'd be lucky that they were passing by right when that happened. But most people, that's not the way it is. Somebody's got to call the cops first. If you're under attack, are you going to be able to call the cops? See, you got to really think about those things. This is the kind of world we're coming into. So if you're allowing Democrats to steal your guns and telling you that it's okay to put soldiers on your streets and put martial law and you got a curfew, you got to go home at a certain time, I'm telling you, our world is getting screwy. I went to a restaurant and a truck was driving by, the tire blew out. It was a loud boom. Every person in that restaurant jumped. I didn't jump. I knew what it was a tire. And even if it was a bomb, I didn't blow up, so why am I going to jump? But I look at all these other people, they're all like, huh, what the freak kind of world is this? Everybody's terrorized. Where are all our men? Where are all our heroes? Even the women. Where are our brave women of the World War II era? The women rolled up their sleeves and were building ships in World War II, and tanks, and guns. Our men were fighting and killing enemies. We won in World War II because we were brave. We had balls. Today, everybody's chicken. They're afraid to get blown up or shot. And if you're afraid, you're going to get shot or blown up anyway. So why be afraid? If anything, you need to get mad. Get mad at these people that are doing this to us. I didn't grow up in a culture like this. I grew up in a culture where I was actually free. We could set off fireworks in our yards. I mean, little kids had toy guns, and they gradually were able to scare everybody into relinquishing their freedoms in exchange for security. And then they tell you now your security is that you should expect terrorism. Well, why didn't I have to expect terrorism before? Muslims have been killing people for 1400 years under their religion. Why is it now that I have to expect terrorism? Whereas before 2001, 9/11, 2001, we never had to worry about that stuff. We never had to worry about that stuff because we had the balls to kill those us. I'm telling you. So, anyway, I love y'all. I wish you the best. Hopefully these markets and this economy doesn't collapse before then. I mean, in the end, the markets are going to be going and setting records, but the economy is what really matters. And if the economy's not functioning, there's nothing on the store shelves. So I hope you guys are all preparing. I'm trying to prepare myself. I still don't feel ready, even though I've been preparing for like 20 years for this. I still don't feel ready. So if you're just starting now, God be with you. God bless you. All right, and I'll pray for you guys. Keep you in your prayer. Keep you in my prayers and keep me in your prayers. That's what I ask. And may God save us all. Amen.